Good morning. So this morning, my Bible reading was in Ezra, and it's not a book I've spent a ton of time in, and maybe I should. There was an interesting message in it for me today, and I want to share it with you for my messy morning devotional. So here's the scene. Ezra has been given a letter from the king, and not just a letter, but also a tremendous fortune to travel back to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple. And the way that he's going to go, he's going with a lot of people, children, old folks, a whole bunch of people going back to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple with the king's blessing and a tremendous fortune. This road that they're traveling on, it's notorious for thieves and robbers and bandits. And so Ezra had told the king that God was their strength, God was their provider. And so he didn't request or he maybe even refused an armed escort. And they went through there trusting God. And right before they left, however, they did call on God. They fasted and they prayed and spent a very focused time of seeking God's will. And God was their provision. It took them about 4 months to go on this road, and they got to Jerusalem, and all the wealth got there, and they're able to do that job. So here's the message for me today. I've got a prayer list of people that I pray for on a very regular basis. Many of these people are not saved. I would love to see them get saved. Other people have got other issues going on. I've got 3 children. I pray for them on a regular basis. So 2 things. One, I can be praying for them, and sometimes I'll pray and then just kind of forget about it. Pray, there you go, God, and then not really be intentional about it. Remember what Ezra did? He was very intentional, fasting and praying, right? Am I doing that part? Am I being very intentional in my prayers and calling on God? So that's the one side, because sometimes I can get kind of lax and just say, oh, I prayed for him, check off the box, and good to go. But not really expecting God to move. That's not good. Here's the other side. Like I said, I've got 3 kids, right? They're all in their 20s now. That's a challenging age. I love them to death, and they're doing a great job. They're great kids. But I can't control them at all. Even when they were younger, I couldn't control them. That's not my job. My job is to be used by God to build that foundation in their younger years, so that now God can build on that foundation to become the amazing women I'm watching them turn into. But it's not for me to dictate and control and try to manipulate them. I was just talking with a young man yesterday whose mom is doing that very thing and has caused a tremendous rift in the whole family. Because she wants to control him, and she wants him to do exactly what she wants. Well, even if she's right, that's not really how it works. He's a mature young man and is responsible for his choices. If he screws up, he knows he'll pay the consequences, and he'll learn. If he pushes on his way, then he will learn. She has got to learn to back off and trust God. Just like Ezra, after prayer, intentional prayer, and focus, he just went and trusted God, right? As parents, we get to a point where we are advisors to our children, and our children become peers more than they become our little charges, right? And that's tough sometimes for a dad, especially with 3 daughters. Oh, goodness. But I'm learning. God's growing me. Praying for my kids. But I'm also praying for some neighbors. And is it enough just to pray for them and check it off? Or do I need to be a little more intentional and listen to God's voice? Because maybe it's time to go to their house and just ask them if I can mow their lawn. Take them some baked goods, share with them something, and step into their lives a little bit. Maybe I need to be a little more intentional and start the journey, get on the road like Ezra did. Take those first steps. So I know this is a whole lot of stuff crammed into just a quick little word, but go back and read there in Ezra, was it 8? Yeah. Go read Ezra 8 and see how he trusted God and ask God, what do you want me to do? Do I need to let go a little bit more? Or do I need to be intentional and then go start the journey? Which one is it for you? Remember, God does love you dearly, and so do I. You have a good one.